guys, what is up? Welcome to another video, and in this video tutorial series we're gonna make we're just gonna take a look at all the C# stuff you need for Unity. So all things you need to make cool scripts and games with Unity, and it's for complete beginners. So if you have never made a C# script or never made something with C# or Unity, this is perfect for you. But even someone who has already made some scripts can learn something from this tutorial. So we're just gonna start here with an empty scene, and to make a new C# script, you right click here, then you go create and hit C# script. We're just gonna call it maybe tutorial here. So, and we open it, and then it will open with the software you have installed for opening it. For me it's Visual Studio here. And the first thing that you need to know is when you start off the script, this name here has to be the exact same as this name here. So if I rename this, why is it not? If I rename this to tutorial, so 0.1 is not a full number, but for example 1 would be an integer. Yeah. So the next thing we're gonna learn is we're gonna learn float now. And what a float is, you could use it as an int, like for example 2 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you can also use a float with 0.1, for example. So, or 0.4, this would be a float. And if you have a float that's not a complete number, such as 5 or 4, you will need to type F here. And of course we will so that Unity knows when it should actually get that float, we will have to write a name for the float. So we'll just call it number, and here we have it. So our float number is, for example, 0.5. Yeah, and there you have to type in F. And I don't know why it's actually giving me an error, because everything should be I don't know why it gives me an error now. But yeah, these are floats, and the next thing we're gonna learn are actually we had ints. Strings is the third thing. So we're gonna type in string, and string is basically a text. So a string is just a text. For example, also if you have like a text in Unity, for example, let's say if you want to include text, you actually have to put in Unity engine.ui, but we come to that later. So now if we have a text and we just call it, I don't know, name, and then we will we have a int, let's say an int, and the int is the, I don't know, name int, and this int is equal to 2. Oh no, yeah. And then we want in the start method, maybe we want our text to display this number. So we have to go Oh, I misspelled it here. Name and name. So in the start we will have to write name for our text here, dot text, so it gets the text of this game object. It's very important to write dot text. Yes. And then we will set this equal to our name int. So, but now this gives us an actual error because text is of course a text, and texts are always strings. So, but we have an integer here. So how can we put this integer or change this integer to a string? For that, we just have to write the int.toString and those two brackets here, and now it should actually work. So if we save this file actually and go back into Unity, wait, why did this actually not save? So maybe we call it something else, like player name, and here we write player name, and now we should be able to save this script. I don't know why we have two scripts here. This is pretty weird. Yeah, I don't know why. So let's go here. Let's save this. Yeah, here's our script. So if we make a UI canvas now, here, then, and we maybe drag in the tutorial script, but now we want to make a text on the canvas. So go new text, and this text should maybe display. We'll make it a bit bigger actually. So this is good. And we also put it in the middle. To put it in the middle, just use those two. So now we want to reference this text in our script, but we can't drag it in or something, but we maybe want to drag it in because Unity just doesn't know that this text, that we want this text to be in our script. So for this, the text has to be public, because when something is public, then you can actually if something is public, then you can. So guys, here, if you have another name, then it will actually give you an error message. So I've named this to tutorial 2, and then the original script has to be also named tutorial 2, otherwise we can't add the script to any components. If we try this, here it says it can't add script, because this always has to be the same name here. So just rename it to tutorial, and we'll open it up in our software. And now if you open a new script up, you will see void start and void update, and as it says here, this is before before your game starts. This will be called, and this will be called every frame. So yeah, that's really easy. And also, if you put those two in front of anything, it will say it's a commentary of you, and it will not include anything in the script. So if you want to say I don't know, this is a test. Oh my god, this is a test. Then it will give you lots of errors, but if you do this, it just says it's a commentary of you. So yeah, that's really awesome. So now there is actually a third one that you will that we will learn now, and this is void awake. So void awake, and what this does, this one gets actually called before start gets called. So if you want to have something that's called before start, then you will make awake, and you will not use it that often, so you will use start more often, but sometimes you have to use awake. So maybe if you have an object that you want to assign to another object, then you have to assign it like in awake, and yeah, you will not use it that often, but it gets called before start actually gets called. But now we will learn actually 3 very important things, and the first thing is a number actually, and this is the integer, and an int is basically a number starting from maybe 0 or 1 or maybe 2, so any number that doesn't have a comma. So 0.1, it gives me an error because 0.1 is a quick. If something is actually public, you can see it here in the inspector. So here, because our player name is public, we now here have this thing, and we just drag in our text. Yes, and when we start, this should actually be the number. Yeah, the number is 2. So here we said number 2, and the number is actually 2 in the start. Good. And maybe you want the number to be in the debug log. So we write debug.log. And no, we actually, yeah, we say maybe player name is, and then we're gonna put in the name int, name int, and what we also need to do is this, and what we also need to do is here we need to add a plus. So now if we, I don't know why this bug is here, yeah, so now actually we should see in our debug log that it's 2, but it's somehow not showing. I am not sure why it's not showing, but normally it should. For some reason it didn't save. Maybe I forgot to save here. Yeah, now it should display the number 2 here. Here, player name is 2. Perfect. So that's how you just set a simple, that's how you display a number. But what is if we actually want to display the number 0.1? We can see here it gives us an error, because for that we need a for that we don't need a int, we need a float. So if you just put in float, and here don't forget the f, then it should actually work and display properly. So here if we do that, then it should actually display. Oh no, it didn't. I forgot to save again. Here, then it should actually display 0.1. Perfect. So I think, yeah, that was it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something new. And if you did like it, then leave a like and subscribe to this channel. And if you want more C# tutorials, you can write a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.